Lots of scientific research has been done on TMG, the supplement also known as betaine, in the last 10 years. And very recently, there's been quite a few studies. They are showing astounding effects for body composition, including increased muscle mass, increased strength, increased VO2 max, increased testosterone, as well as burning fat. So that's a fivefold, quintuple effect that it has on body composition. And, that's terrific. And I've got a video out there that's got 55,000 views on it, which has done pretty well. But there's been a lot of negative comments and people saying, hey, this dude is telling TMG, you can't trust anybody that's going to give you research and try to sell you something. Well, I'm like, okay, fine. But this is my 70th video. And is that I'm only recommending what I actually use and what I know there's research to back up. But I'm going to defer to someone else. I'm going to defer to an expert at dissecting scientific research, and that's Thomas Delauer. He knows how to break down the statistics. He knows how to break down the effect size. He really knows how to go into a paper and pull everything out, not just read the summary. So great respect for Thomas. I'm going to show you a video that he did on TMG, as well as I'm going to refer to some other videos he did on TMG because he has been promoting it big time, and he doesn't have a longevity supplement company as an affiliate like I do. I have partiQlar, that is a longevity supplement company. That's all that they do, and I'm going to be recommending them. But before I do that, my name is Andrew Kolasko, and from here on out, I am your very own longevity coach, your personal coach, to help you increase the years ahead, help you get the most out of your future years with your health span, your overall strength, your testosterone increasing, your lean muscle mass, working on your stability, working on all those things that are going to give you the kind of quality life that you want as you head into your future years. Please leave a like if you thought this video was great, and also leave a comment. If you didn't think the video was great, whatever, put that in the comments. Would love to hear from you. There's a lot of people going back and forth, a lot of men 50 plus going back and forth and sharing results, sharing insights, sharing experiences, and it's been really strong. So please do leave a comment. Now, let's get back to Thomas, okay? I'm going to show you a video on TMG, and I'm also going to refer to some other ones because I'm going to leave it up to him, because my supplement company, partiQlar, I'm going to give you 70% off of TMG, and that is a very exclusive code, okay? It's Kolasko 17, Kolasko 17, and that's going to get you 70% off. This is the best discount code that you're going to find anywhere for partiQlar supplements. And that's all they do is longevity supplements, and they carry TMG as well as other longevity supplements. So use Kolasko 17, and let's hear from Thomas about why TMG is kick-ass.
Hear me out on it. I'm going to start with a wild mouse study with this compound, but there's a lot of human data behind it, so I'm going to talk about that as well. Okay, this study was published in Nutrients. They took mice and they put them on a very high-fat diet to try to induce obesity. This is commonly done. Okay, what they found is that when they added simple TMG, trimethylglycine, or betaine into their diets, it literally prevented the formation of white adipose tissue. It acted as a blockade to tissue, fat tissue forming, even when these mice were basically trying to get obese by giving them a very high calorie, high fat diet. Doesn't mean they didn't gain weight or didn't gain some fat, but it had a major preventative effect by blocking fat from forming. Let's investigate what's going on here. Now, I never like to dangle what the compound is that I'm talking about. I already mentioned it as TMG, right? Trimethylglycine. So I'll explain a little bit this study with mice before I get into the human piece and this is the part that unfortunately isn't looked at a lot, even in this study. There was a major increase in what's called mitochondrial biogenesis. Okay, so what this means is that not only did it block fat from forming, but it increased the amount of mitochondria that were in the overall muscle cells. This means that you now have more places for fat loss to occur, because fat burning occurs in the mitochondria. Like if you go for a run, the mitochondria, the fat is going to come in via carnitine palmitoyltransferase. It's going to transfer into the cell, into the mitochondria, and it's going to ultimately be oxidized for fuel. Now, if you have less mitochondria, that's less literal places for fat burning to occur. So if you have mitochondrial biogenesis, you have more fat burning sites, plain and simple. The other thing that was really interesting in this rodent model study was they actually had an improvement in insulin resistance despite having overfeeding of saturated fat and high fat. So we know that to induce insulin resistance in an animal model, you feed them high amounts of fat in a very high caloric state. We know that, yes, sugar is not good for insulin resistance, but the inability to deal with sugar is usually like a downstream side effect of insulin resistance in the first place. Not always the main cause, although it certainly can be. High fat, in this case, in a clinical setting, don't come getting upset with me about this. This is literally done in clinical settings all the time. They induce insulin resistance by giving them high fat meals. It doesn't mean that fat is bad. It just means that when you have a ridiculous amount of saturated fat, it will absolutely induce a certain level of insulin resistance in an animal model. Point is TMG still sort of reversed the insulin resistance effect here, which is wild. So then when we pivot over to the human model stuff, it gets really fascinating. So there was a study published in Nutrients that was a systematic review, 6 different studies and meta-analysis, huge stuff. They found that when TMG was supplemented in humans, there was a reduction in total fat mass, a reduction in body fat percentage down to about 2.45%, all while increasing or maintaining lean body mass, which means it was specifically targeting fat without targeting any muscle. So we've seen now, it literally can block belly fat. We've seen the blockage of fat occurring in that rodent model study, and we're seeing the human model study seeing it actually increases fat oxidation as well. One of the reasons that it probably increases fat oxidation so much is simply the fact that it's improving muscle mass too. So there are increases in mTOR, what's called MyoD, MEF2B. These are all either transcription factors, signaling devices, or literal transcription factors for growth factors. What all that means is there is a direct relationship with TMG supplementation in animal models and human models for muscle growth. Okay, there is a poultry study I've talked about in another video where poultry farmers were giving chickens TMG because it was literally making their breast meat bigger, all while not adding extra fat. And they saw with that increases in mTOR, MyoD, MEF2B. That doesn't matter to you. All that you really care about probably is the end result, and the end result is more muscle with less fat. So how does TMG actually block fat from accumulating? There's a couple of different theories on it. For one, it's the increase in what is called CD36, so the increase in carnitine palmitoyl transferase. So essentially, you're increasing the amount of transporters that can get fat into a mitochondria in the first place. So essentially, before it has a chance to really store, it's having a better opportunity to potentially get burned. So TMG could work really well pre-workout because it does actually hit pretty quick. So you could take it before exercise. You could also take it throughout the day, but it seems as though taking it before exercise might actually induce more fat burning. And it might actually have a carryover effect and prevent fat accumulation later in the day. So what I want you to remember is that burning fat is always a balance of episodes where you're actually burning a lot of fat and episodes where you're just trying to keep fat accumulation at bay. Because every time you eat, of course you're going to run the risk of putting on some fat. Your deficits and surpluses are happening in nanoseconds, right? They're not happening, I am purposely in a deficit at this very moment in time for the next 6 hours. It's going to happen when you eat, you're in a surplus, then you're in a deficit, you're micro deficits and micro surpluses. What we're looking at with TMG is limiting the negative impact of those micro surpluses. So you're blocking some of the formation of white adipose tissue during that period and enhancing the periods of fat burning during the other periods. So when you're in a deficit, you're getting more out of it. When you're in a surplus, you're getting less out of it. So less risk of burning muscle and more reward of burning fat, and less risk of gaining fat and more reward of burning it. So you're just limiting those risks and adding the benefit. So as always, keep it locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I want to thank Thomas for this great video that he did on TMG. You can also check out these other videos that Thomas has done on TMG. Okay, he's very bullish on it. And once again, great respect going out to Thomas Delauer. I would encourage you to follow his channel because he knows how to break out. He knows how to contextualize, not just read the summary of a PubMed paper or scientific research. He knows how to dissect it in the most specific way. So I haven't met Thomas. I hope he's okay with me doing this. But you know where I got this idea? I've seen thumbnails on YouTube where you see Peter Attia, you see Andrew Huberman, you click on it, and it's just a replay from one of their earlier podcasts that some other channel's playing. So I thought I would make sure that I wouldn't just throw up somebody else's video and call it my channel. I wanted to, give you the context about why I'm choosing Thomas and why I wanted someone with expertise like him to speak on TMG, because I'm the guy that's selling it. My affiliate is partiQlar.com, and you won't find this code anywhere else. For 17% off, it's Kolasko 17, Kolasko 17. That'll get you 17% off any other longevity supplements, including the fabulous TMG. And you get a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if you haven't tried TMG, this is a great opportunity for you to do so as well. What they say is in the package is in the package, okay? They're GMP, that's good manufacturing practices compliant, okay? So this is a great company. I totally support them. And like I've said before, I don't take or recommend anything that isn't going to be effective. And I'm not going to tell you that it's great unless I know it's worked. And I've had so many comments. And so please leave a comment about if you tried TMG, how it's worked for you, even if it hasn't worked for you. I've had people say it hasn't, but you do have to train, okay? You cannot just take this and take things easy and not train with intention, not train with, some kind of effort, because you won't get results unless you do. So make sure that you're training. Leave a comment if you tried TMG, as well as leave a like if you like this video. I appreciate hearing from you. I appreciate you being on my channel. I like being of service so I can give you the best future years possible, put the most quality years ahead of you they possibly can for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I want you to be strong. I want you to have that lean muscle mass. I want you to have the stability. I want you to have the VO2 max. I want you to have the overall sense of well-being. I want you to look good, play good, and feel good. See you again here next week.